Welcome to the second Sunday of Advent. Peace. Christmas is about a new, old story, a big God story. I love to tell the story of Jesus and his love. Today we're going to look at Mary and Joseph and how they found peace in darkness. Have you ever sat in darkness? Like the true darkness, like no light coming in darkness. I had an opportunity to go down into the mine in Thompson, Manitoba with Per to see where he worked when he was younger. When you're deep in a mine, if you turn your headlamp off, there's not even a shred of light coming in. As he said, you could just put your finger in your eye and not even know it. Gross, eh? But that is true darkness. What would happen to the darkness if you lit a birthday candle underground? Would the light be visible? Would the darkness stop the birthday candle from being seen? Or would the tiny light stop the darkness? Think about it a minute. Light, even a tiny birthday candle, always dispels darkness. Do you remember the story of the Thai boys in 2018 who went into a maze-like cave for an afternoon adventure? Sudden, unexpected rising water forced them deeper into the cave. They ended up sitting on a small rock shelf for 2.5 weeks before dive teams were able to rescue them. They only had 6 flickering flashlights. They spent hours in the darkness, hoping that somehow light and help would break through. 700 years before Jesus came, the prophet Isaiah talks about a world of brooding darkness, one overrun by violence, greed, shattered by rebellion and anguish. Hey, does any of that sound familiar? Isaiah prophesied that Jesus would come to dispel the darkness. He said, "The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of deep darkness, a light has dawned." The whole world was waiting for the light to be turned on and for help to come. Mary and Joseph lived in very dark times. The world was in an awful upheaval, and the Jewish people were looking for and longing for the Messiah. Everyone was praying for peace. It was constantly being discussed. Part of the big God story of the Bible was that they always knew that God was going to come through. Right away in Genesis, in the Torah, in the time of Adam and Eve, God made it clear to Satan that even though he got away with tricking and hurting the people of the world, the woman's offspring was going to crush his head and defeat him. They knew the prophecies. They knew the prophecy from Isaiah that a virgin would bear a son, the Messiah, and many families and many young girls prayed that they would be the one. But who really expected it to actually happen the way it did? As Mary went about her chores one afternoon, she was startled by an angel who appeared and spoke to her. "Greetings, Mary. You have found favor with God. You will be with child and will give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus. He will be great and will be called the Son of the Most High. The Lord God will give him the throne of his father David, and he will reign over the house of Jacob forever. His kingdom will never end." As the angel spoke, Mary became more confused. "How will this be, since I am a virgin?" The angel answered, "The Holy Spirit will come upon you, and the power of the Most High will overshadow you. So the Holy One to be born will be called the Son of God." Amazed, yet strangely secure in the presence of this visitor, Mary quietly replied, "I am the Lord's servant. May it be to me as you have said." Notice the difference between Mary and Zechariah. We talked about Zechariah last week. When the angel spoke to him, he flat out didn't believe that that's what the angel said was true. In contrast, Mary said, "Tell me more." And then she said, "I'll do it." Imagine Mary's thoughts as the angel left. "You are to give him the name Jesus." The angel's words echoed in Mary's mind. Jesus, the name that God himself had chosen for his son. Softly, almost prayerfully, she spoke it. Jesus. The name rang with truth, beauty, and compassion. Yes, it was fitting. God's son would be called Jesus. Joseph! Oh no, Mary wondered, what will he think of this? How could she explain it to him? Would he believe her? Somehow he must understand. And so Mary told Joseph of the angel's visitation and of the prophecy concerning the child. The news disturbed Joseph, and he considered breaking the engagement privately until the angel came to him in a dream, saying that Mary's child was conceived by the Holy Spirit. The angel went on to say that the child would be a boy named Jesus, who would deliver his people from sin. Furthermore, the Lord God had selected Joseph to be the earthly father. Can you imagine this young man's awe at having been chosen by God for this very important task? The angel told him not to be afraid to take Mary as his wife. Joseph accepted the angel's words and did as the angel had said, taking Mary as his wife. Funny thing, we're talking about peace in the darkness today. All of the events that happened for Mary and Joseph after that didn't make life peaceful. They were probably shunned. They went on a long donkey journey. They had shepherds, wise men visiting them. The drummer boy, that's such a sweet Christmas song, but a new parent's nightmare to have someone playing the drums while you're trying to put your baby to sleep. Just saying. And then they had to flee to another country. Life wasn't peaceful, but they had peace. The light of hope brought peace to their hearts in the midst of darkness. Christmas is a story of Jesus dispelling the darkness in our hearts, changing us on the inside, taking away our fear, our anxiety, our grief, our uncertainty, letting the light of his presence into our lives and giving us peace. Jesus brings peace to our hearts in the midst of darkness. Sometimes the darkness is around us, and sometimes the darkness is within us. Jesus is called the Prince of Peace. Let him shine his light and love into your darkness this Christmas season. God bless.